G'day, I'm James Horton from Westcan. Today I'm in Kalgoorlie at the Towers Hotel. Going to do some water leak detection. We're losing 700 litres an hour and we need to find out where the water leak is so we can get it fixed. Now the water meter is just around the corner here, down the alleyway. Come over here, flip it up and you can see from the water meter the dials are spinning around and they're losing quite a bit of water. So our first method at the moment is we need to find out where the piping goes. It's an old building, should be copper going through. The best way to do this is we'll use our EM. We're going to hook onto the copper pipes, put a signal onto it and just see how we go tracing that through the building, putting a few marks down so then we can swap over later on and conduct a leak detection using a few different methods. So right now, right at the start here, let's just find out where the pipes are going so then we conduct the leak detection. After clamping on at the meter, I've also been clamping onto all these garden taps. Anything that leads me around and in towards the building. This garden tap is giving me where the chalk marks are at the moment. It's giving me a feed that's coming through these doors into the pub and straight across the floor here. So I've got a bit of a straight line there and behind there is a toilet block. Following on from outside where we clamped onto the copper pipe, we've come inside and we've found the main coming across the floor here and back out again. And then if we came over to the other side, over in this corner here, just there where we've got a new fitting on, there's a main pipe coming in here. This is an old building that's been added onto. When I first came in here this morning, this pipe along here was singing. You could hear it. You could hear the valve passing just here. So I asked the plumbers to come in, and because I couldn't turn the valve off anymore, even with a shifter on it, it just kept passing. So I was a bit suspicious of that. So I asked the plumbers to come along and to put a new fitting on there, to put a new isolation in. We've got that turned off and now it's all quiet. And this pipe going down into the floor that you can see here at the moment, that's redundant piping that used to go along the front of the bar, and they've done a lot of bar work and they've brought the new piping in over the top down through the roof. So I suspect what's happened is this was an isolation point and it's let go and it's just worn through and it's just kept passing and passing, and that's gone down into the ground and into some pipe work that's obviously cracked or corroded over time. But now we've actually put that isolation in place. The water meter has slowed down, hasn't stopped but it's slowed down, so that was the interesting part. So we've solved one leak, but now we've got two leaks. So this one's solved, and moving on to the next one. When we went out to the water meter, which I'll show you in a second, the water meter's still slowly turning. After putting in the new isolation, we've come back to check the water meter. Now we can see it's still spinning, but this is a working hotel and with a lot of toilets and kitchens. So what we're after is just a bit of a waiting period to wait for any toilets to fill up, cisterns. As you can see, it's slowing down, slowing down, slowing down. Nice. But after taking our time and in various stages and walking around, we noticed that and coming back and checking, the meter didn't stop. So maybe we've got a second leak. That's what it led us to. So the next thing we did, we went and shut off the hot water system to see if there's a leak there. So to help us identify where the possible leak is in the hot water system, or if that could be it, we've come in and we've isolated the hot water systems and also the reticulation system. When we isolated that, the water meter stopped. So that was a great result. We just had to then walk around, isolate different locations, and narrow the search area down. So after discovering we still had a leak, possible leak on the water service, and isolating that other fitting, we started to look elsewhere and look at possible hot water system leaks. We've come down the back to one of the openings, the access to the sewer, and as you can see on the hot water line, there's water coming out from underneath the footing there. So now we're just going to do a bit of cable locating and pipe locating, and just to find out what direction that pipe goes, and the next thing is to try and pinpoint the leak so we know where to dig. So I've connected up the pipe locating equipment, the EM, done a direct connection onto the copper pipe. We'll come outside, you can see my pink marks here. Normally I'd use blue, but I'm just doing a quick markup. That's the direction of the pipe work going through, and the leak point. You can feel these pavers are so hot around here. There's a good chance, obviously, that the pavers being hot around here, the steam coming up, that this is where the leak is. And by the looks inside, it wasn't too far away from where it was coming underneath the footing. So this is where we're going to have a little dig and see if I can identify the actual location and come back to it and fix it. Watch out, there's yeah, it's a lot of that's the Telstra 12 volt.
We almost need the trenchless excavation in here.
The old vacuum machine.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if that's on the joint or something. What?
Just a little bit.
You can see it rising from, almost looks like it's rising right from there.
Yeah.
Straight down. I reckon that's right on the elbow.
It's all lagged. Yeah, copper too. There we go.
That's it. Nice work, well done.
Beautiful.
Okay, it's been a great day in Kalgoorlie. We've come down here to find a water leak, and not only did we find one, but we found two. We used an isolation for one water leak, and that slowed the water meter down. It wasn't until we were studying the water leak that we noticed that looked a little bit suspicious. So we did an isolation on the hot water system, and that stopped the water meter straight away. So then we realized that we've possibly got a second water leak. So we continued to investigate from one isolation point to the next, all the way down to the back of the units, and as we showed you before, we come to the last unit, opened up the last inspection hatch for the plumbing duct, and we could see water coming out the bottom there underneath the foundations. We've come back outside, lifted up the pavers, exposed the exposed the area, and just underneath there on the elbow it's corroded and let go, and the plumbers are going to fix that tomorrow morning. All right, so once again, it's been a great day. Thanks very much for watching.